I find that mental health is not even discussed much in our line of work. I have it in the sense, I feel like mine, it could be like performance anxiety or something. Like, it's like, I feel like I have to be the guy that to win the game in the end zone with 3 seconds to go every time I go to work. And I guess that has built something over me over the years, or I'm kind of done now feeling like I'm not good enough. When you don't get the phone call, for so many years I would blame myself for that. And I think with experience, with age, you just finally realize, okay, it's me not getting the call there can be hundreds of other things not related to the work, but maybe discuss it from your lens, how that plays into your world. Do you have any of those issues when you're applying, like, strike, the actor's strike, or the pandemic? I mean, hell, I went 9 months without making a single penny, without a penny.
I know, it's crazy.
I thought it was over. I literally thought I was never go. Am I going to go do construction? Do I need to go window wash?
Yeah, I was like, what can I do?
What can I do?
What?
And I
What?
started, my father was like, write down what you do. And I'm like,
I know.
I mean,
I'm like, this is it. This is what I do. I don't know what anything else. Yeah, I thought the same thing. Like, it was
I
tough.
remember what got me out of mine. We had moved during the middle of the pandemic, and on a Thursday at like 3:00, I mean, dude, I'm doing checklists. I'm doing like dishes, mopping and vacuuming, and I mean, I'm doing things around the house. There's nothing I'm doing, And I get a phone call from Morgan Wallen, basically saying, "Hey, what are you doing Saturday?" I'm like, "Bubba, I'm not doing anything." He goes, "You want to photograph the biggest cover of country music?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Right on.
And it was, man. It made me feel worthy. Like, imagine, 8, 7 months, whatever, of not doing what I've been doing since 17.
Yeah.
Living, breathing this shit.
Should have made a friggin' movie is what we should have done.
Yeah.
That's what everyone did in L.A. They made movies in their own neighborhoods.
I know. We use all of our superpowers.
Yeah, we have more actors here now than I have ever been surrounded by. So,
I mean, do you fight that stuff? Because, I mean, actors, you just went through paying bills, working off of living off of residuals while waiting for, I had a friend, DP, saying, like, yeah, he hasn't worked in over a year and a half.
yeah. I mean, the one thing about the way that I get through all of it is I've realized that I can change the things that I can, and the things that I can't change, I don't let take over anymore, and I don't allow shame in my life anymore. So I've been able to look at the places where in my life that I shame myself, and when I say shame, I mean I don't like myself. I put myself down. It keeps me up at night. It worries me. I've gotten rid of all of that, and I've labeled what they are. Dyslexia is a big part of it. So no longer is my dyslexia something that keeps me from what I want. It's part of how I get what I want.
Sure.
And there's other areas that are, very much more complex. During the course of my career, things happened that affected me, put me in trauma, and I was able to go into those trauma areas and release this shame.
Sure.
And so when COVID came, I had my sobriety is what kept me going. And I also had a baby during the course of COVID, so I had something really to keep my attention.
Was sobriety something that you've dealt with as a problem?
Yeah, I've been part of the program for the AA program for over 10 years, but I've been part of other programs that really have changed my life.
That's great.
And giving up the shame was the biggest part. Right?
You've been very vocal about a lot of your stuff. You don't hide from it. That's probably the help too.
It puts you in the light. Once you're in the light, you're okay.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I'm good. I don't have to hide from it.
Yeah.
I've noticed one thing about you is your physique is getting bigger and bigger. Has working out been something that fueled boredom when you're in between roles, or a vision of something you saw your career going?
Yeah. yeah, they stopped hiring me, right? And I was like this good-looking character actor, and I thought this made me a really good actor.
Sure.
But what it did was it made me in this new way that they cast. It made me uncastable. One of the things when I first moved out to Nashville, I was still trying to get jobs, and I had a manager who was trying to give me things. And Ava DuVernay, you know her, the big director. Well, there was an HBO series. I was like, I really want this series. I think she'll hire me. And they wanted me to come in, and so I flew myself to Los Angeles. I went to downtown LA. I swear to God, I went through 4 different buildings. They looked like they were falling down. I thought I was going to get mugged twice. I go to this casting, and she has me read for the cab driver. So that's where my life has gone now. I'm the cab driver in this television series. Sure. And I'm like, okay, why wouldn't you just hire me as a cab driver? I mean, I'm a great cameo.
Sure.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You're in power now, so
Absolutely.
I guess
absolutely
you do what you want. So I read for and the casting director goes, you should really read for this role. And I was like, look, if I try to read that, it's not going to work. I'm dyslexic. It's just going to make me nuts. It's going to make me really upset, and it's going to hurt me. And I don't want to hurt myself anymore. Let me take this back to Nashville, and I'll send you a tape. And she said, okay. And I went back home, made a great tape, sent it to her. It was one of my best performances of my life, and that's saying a lot. I've done a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was just nuanced, and it was exactly Ava DuVernay, and it was like, and so they put me on hold. And so I kept asking my managers, I'm like, okay, so when's this going to go? They're like, well, they're going ethnic for this role. And they're going for ethnic for this role. And I was like, great, well then, I mean, I should fall in there. I'm on hold. Mm-hmm. Well, when they found out that I wasn't ethnic, they let me go. And so it wasn't about my performance anymore. It wasn't about the work anymore. It was about checking a box.